Hello everyone. In this lesson, you're going to learn how to draw Among Us characters using Google Draw. So your first step is going to be to open up your Google Drive, click on New, More, Google Drawings. Let that load up. We're going to use a few basic shapes. So go ahead and click on the Shape tool, Shapes, and find this rounded rectangle shape. Click on that, and click and draw a rectangle. You're going to see this little yellow diamond shape. We're going to grab that and pull it inwards to make our Among Us character a little more rounded. We're going to click on the shape and turn the border color transparent, and we'll color things whatever color you want, but we're going to use only two colors for the body, one dark and one light. So for example, the red character, we're going to start off with the dark red, and we're going to duplicate that shape by pressing Control D, or you can go to Edit and duplicate, or Control D. We're going to make the legs now, so we're going to shrink that shape we just duplicated, and we're actually going to grab that little yellow diamond and stretch it outward a bit because we want our legs to be a little more flat and narrow. Okay, so that's a good shape. Then we'll duplicate that. Make sure it's lined up with the edges, so press Control D, line that up with the bottom of that leg and move it over so it lines up with the side. So now it should look like one solid shape like this. Our next step, we're going to actually put the outline on this, duplicate, and then take the outline off. So go to the outline button, click on black, and make the border weight 24. Okay, so how did I highlight all those? I press Control A. I also am able to click and drag across all three shapes to select them all. I'm going to press Control D now to duplicate, and this time I'm turning the border transparent, and I'm going to right click, group that shape, and now I can use my arrow keys on my keyboard to line it up so it looks like one solid shape with a nice outline. Using the rectangular shapes again, I'm going to draw a shape here. So if you look at the example, there's that highlight that we're going to make right here. So I'm going to make that more rounded, and this time I'm going to color that the regular bright red color. Another way you could do that is by just, hold on, let me ungroup this. So if I ungroup that, I can duplicate that same shape and line that up, and then just stretch it upward and to the right from this side. And we get a very close match to that shape. Let's make that red. So there's our highlight. I'm going to select everything again and duplicate, or not duplicate, I'm sorry, group it. I want everything grouped so I can move it around freely without worrying about moving things out of place. Our next step is, let's make the little backpack. So we're using the same shapes again. So a rounded rectangle. Going to make this a little bit more rounded. And same process. I'm going to color that dark red. Make the border 16 this time. Duplicate it. Turn the border transparent. Make this smaller and fit it inside of here because we do want that highlight. Make that bright red. Just like that. Highlight both of those, group it, place it next to your character, and you're going to go to Arrange and Order and Send Backward, or press Control Down. One more time, we're going to select everything and group. And now let's make the visor, little visor right here. So that's all the same shapes again, except they're sideways. Shapes. rounded rectangle. I'm going to make that as rounded as possible. And this time it's like a dark blue tint. Let's make that color. Control D to duplicate. Make that transparent, and it should be like a brighter blue color. So click on the brighter blue. Line it up there. And then one more time, duplicate and make this one white and smaller. Let me move this out of the way. I'm going to highlight all of those shapes now and group them, and then place them on my character, and then highlight all those shapes and group those. So now I have almost a complete character. There is this like little shadow right here underneath, or a line. I do that using the moon shape. So go to shapes, click on this moon shape, click and drag a long moon, and then rotate it using the rotate button. Place that kind of in that spot where you think it should go, and then rotate it into place so that it matches kind of that shape right there, and then paint that black. And I'm going to make the border transparent so it's a little less thick. And I'm going to squeeze that upward a bit. And then highlight everything again and group. And there you have it. Your Among Us character is created. Now, since everything's grouped, you can stretch him, make him chubby. I wouldn't recommend doing that because you might, if I stretch him out too much, you'll see there's these little bumps that happen. So don't do that too much. But now I can duplicate this. I can right click, or I'm sorry, I can press Control D, duplicate it. If I go to Format Options, I can flip it. If I ungrouped it, I can change all the colors again. And to get the highlights like that, you just need one bright color and then one dark color of the same color. That's like every row has, every column here has their own set of bright colors and dark colors. And if you wanted to make a little scene like how I did, go back to Shapes, Callouts, pick a callout, write in it. You can modify the text, change the size, give it a thick border. You can even paint the text box or the callout box, whatever you want. And then in the background, you can add a dark background. It can be any color you want. I'm going to make it this color right here, and then arrange, send that all the way to the back. And there's also some star shapes in callouts, so you can make stars if you wanted to make it look like they're floating in space, and so on. So that's your Among Us character tutorial. I'd love to see what you create.